today we're comparing simple and compound. Really simple, okay? So it's no new formulas. It's still the formulas we're always using. They're on the board and they're written out here. If you will also grab out a highlighter out of your bag, so we're ready for that. Okay. So I have already filled out the top part for you. So we didn't have to write that because you've actually already written them on the other ones. So as you see, simple interest earned on the principal only. Compound earns on the interest, on the principal and previous interest. Compound interest grows quickly. When comparing simple and compound interest, make sure that you are comparing the same thing. So that means you have to have them both in total amounts, your A's, your amount in the account, or you have to have them both in simple interest, both I. You cannot compare I and A. You can't. That's like comparing apples and ice. They have nothing in common, do they? So you cannot compare amount in the account and interest. They both have to be either in interest or in the amount in the account, depending on what they're asking you. Okay? So, take that highlighter. You have your formulas. And as you see right here, we have total amount with interest. What do I do if I have total amount and interest? I'm going to add my I and my P. Okay? So you can always look back at this if you need a refresher. My compound, if I need the interest, I'm going to subtract my A and my P. Okay? So that's there if you need it. So that's just kind of a review of everything we've done so far on simple and compound interest. So you're going to see we're not learning anything new today. We are just looking at which is a better deal or who has more money. That's all we're doing today. Okay? So, in other words, you're going to have 2 problems per problem. That's what that means. Jen is going to save $3,000 for retirement. Well, I know that's my money I'm putting in. That's my starting amount. Everyone should be focusing. That is my starting amount. That is my P. That is my principal. My starting amount is my P, my principal. My years is my time. So we have option A. And this is very simple because you just read, oh, option A is simple interest. That means I write the simple interest formula. Remember, you don't have to memorize that. It's on the board or it's right up there in the problem. I equals P RT. Now, we've already told me that my P is 3,000. Your P is your starting amount. If you need that, to know that, write it down. Right, P starting amount, if you don't remember what P stands for. My R is my rate, which is 1.85, because it says it right there. And my time is 20. I just go to a normal calculator, and I plug that in. Aren't in here. Okay. What is your interest?
1,110.
Perfect. Now, let's look at the question so we kind of know if we need to find the interest or if we need to get them both in amounts and account. It says, which option should Jen go with? Well, that means we need to find the amount in both accounts, right? So, remember, with my simple, to get my amount in my account, I add these two. If you don't remember what I say, It's written right there. And I'm gonna say, look at your notes. Got it? Because I've said it, and I've said it, and I've said it. Got it? So we are going to add. So I take my principal, which was my starting amount, and I add. $4,110. Perfect. That's my A. That's my amount in my account. Let's highlight that. Now we have option B. Now option B, oh look, it's compound. Of course it's going to be, because I just did simple. So, A equals P, 1 plus R, T for time. Do you have to memorize those formulas?
Yes.
No. It's always going to be on the board, or you'll have a formula chart for the STAR test. Now, if they ask you on the MAPS test, yes, you might have to pull it, because they won't give you a formula chart. Okay? But other than that, you would have a formula chart, or I will have it written on the board for you. Okay? So no, you do not have to memorize those. But if you say it enough, or write it enough, it's in your head, right? Okay. So my P is my money I start with. My rate is my percent, and that one says 1.75%. And my time is 20. Remember, that's an exponent. Don't put times 20. It's got to be an exponent. And you just plug that in your calculator. And you get
4,244.33.
perfect unison, children. And I'm going to highlight that. I have A and A. I have amount in account, amount in account. So can't I compare those?
Yes.
They're the same thing. My question says, which option should Jen go with? Well, look at the amounts. Which would you go with?
I go with the smallest one.
I would go with B. Why? Because more money. That's comparing simple and compound interest. So it's really just reviewing what we've done. Okay? So let's go to the next one. Jason deposits $300 in an account that earns 5% annual compound interest. I read. What formula am I using?
A equals P.
Compound. Good. And this is Jason.
That's my dad's name.
A equals P, 1 plus R, T for time. P is the money I put in. My percent is 5. Now sometimes you have to read at the bottom, glance at the bottom of the question, because they like putting the years at the end. I don't know why. 15 years, so that is my exponent. Amount in my account is perfect. Well, I got my amount in my account, and it says who will have more, so I need to have them both to amounts in accounts. So I'm good there. Now here we go. Of course, we have someone else. We have Sean. And if you skim, you go, oh, he's doing simple interest. So if you want to figure out your formula before you have to read it, do that. Okay, he's depositing $315 That is the amount of money you're putting in. Okay, that is your principal. Your rate is doing 6%. Your percent's always over 100. And my T is 15 years. We plug it in our calculator.
You get 567 over 2.
Or in the decimal form, 283.5.
You're the first person I've heard that it's coming as a fraction.
But
Okay, maybe they just all fix it. If you get a fraction, what do?
Math 2.
Math to enter. Voila.
Yay.
Math to enter. Voila. Or could you take the first number, hit the division sign, and put the second number? You sure can. Either way works. Uh-oh. Can I compare amount and account and interest? No. So I must add my principal, which was $315, and get my amount in my account. How
598.5.
perfecto. Now, who will have more money?
Jason.
Jason. Now look at the second question, and if you wouldn't have gone them both to amounts and accounts, you would have got the second part wrong. It says by how much more?
25.18.
What'd you do?
Subtracted Sean from Jason.
Perfect. She subtracted to figure out by how much more. It's not much more, but hey, it's $25.18 more. But you see, comparing's not hard. You're just working two problems in one. And just have to get them to talking about the same thing, either both interest or both amount in the account. If I was working a compound problem and I wanted it to interest, what would I do? Good, we would subtract our A and our P, our amount in our account by the principal. You might need that here in a minute. Not on this problem. Okay, we have Diego, and he has $7,500 and deposited into two different savings accounts. That is not my principal. He only has that much, and he's going to split them between two accounts. So that $7,500 you really don't even need. Okay? So we are not even going to use that in an equation. Do you see he put $4,500 in one and $3,000 in another, and that gave me my $7,500. Okay? So just letting you know, we might not always use all numbers. So we have account one, and I'm going to skim, and you see I say simple interest. So then I could go ahead and set up my problem. So he deposits $450, that's his starting amount. That's my P. It earns 3.75% interest. How many years? 10. So what was the interest?
1,687.5.
Perfect. Then, total amount. So I need to get the total amount of both together.
We need to add both of them.
Okay, but what do I need to do to find my amount in my account?
Add your interest and your
Good, add my interest and my principal.
That's when we use the same numbers as we're
So what is my amount in my account?
6,185.5.
I got 87.
87.5. And we're gonna highlight that because that's our amount in our account. Now we have account 2. And of course it's compound. He is depositing 3,000, so that's my P, my starting or my initial amount. It has a 3.5% rate. And of course, it's also 10 years, and don't forget, that is always an exponent.
No, don't even worry about that right now. I just didn't want y'all to pick up 4 papers today. I like the highlighters. They got to put that little lip gloss.
What is our amount in our account?
$4,231.80.
Good. I didn't hear any wrong cents there. I heard 79 today, but we have a 6 at the end, right? So it's 5 or above, so we gotta give that 9 a shove. Good, good, good. Now, let's read our question. What is the total amounts in both of Diego's account at the end of the 10 years? What am I gonna do? Add them together. What did we get, Jack?
10,419 and 3 cents.
Do we see how simple comparing is?
Yeah.
And that just gave you some extra practice on what we've been doing. Okay, what you're gonna do in a minute, right now, you're gonna fold that piece of paper in half, and you're gonna glue it on page 11. I don't wanna waste any of your work time, okay? So, now, open that iPad to the assignment that you downloaded. And I'm going to do number 1 with you. You need your work paper and the half sheet I just handed out. Okay. Listen to me right now. This is not homework. I know you're shocked.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Your homework tonight is for if you are missing anything in this class to get it done. Because I have to have my grades complete at 5 tomorrow for the 6 weeks for coaches to check grades on Friday. Got it? So that's what tonight is. We are working on this today in class, and tomorrow we're gonna have a bell ringer, and then the rest of the period you're finishing this. Got it? Okay, so I'm gonna just put that out there so you know. If you're cute what I said, it'll be on YouTube. Got it? Okay, so here we go. We are not gluing right now. I've already said that. Ooh, waste of time. I said, when you finish. Okay, so this should be out. Like I said, this should be open. You should have your paper beside you and the little half sheet. Okay, so your work paper, where it says L1, that's level 1, question 1. L2 will be level 1, question 2. Okay? So, we're gonna work this first. So, on your paper, we're gonna write I equals PRT, because do you see it says simple interest? If it says find the interest, and in parentheses it says compound, what do you need to do after you get your answer? If it says find the interest, but you're working compound,
Divide the total, not divide.
you
Subtract the
subtract.
total from the.
You're going to subtract these two, right? So there's one that says that, so when you can't find your answer choice around there, that's probably what you need to do. Okay? So these are your answer choices. Okay? So here we go. principal, my P, is 500. Interest earned. What does interest earned mean? Your interest, right?
You got it
So
over.
where are we gonna put that?
Where the I is.
Where the I is. So I'm gonna put my 60 in the I. So when it says interest earned, that goes in your I. Then it says time is 3 years. Well, doesn't that go in my T? Look at your numbers around. Shouldn't you have gone, oh, they all have percents, so I bet I'm missing my rate. Now watch, stop. I'm gonna rewrite this. I'm gonna rewrite this like this. Do this with me. I'm throwing the X to the side to make it less stressful. All I did is take the X and throw it to the side. Okay? Now you're going to take what you can take, and I'm going to highlight mine. You don't have to highlight yours. I'm going to take what I can on the right-hand side and put it in my calculator. 50 times 1 over 100 times 3.
50.
Oh no, it's 500. I was thinking of my answer. I was doing it in my head, sorry. And it's 15. Okay, do you want to know what I just did?
What?
I did 500 times 1 is 5. It's 500. Divide by 100 and I get 5.
Oh.
Right? And what's 5 times 3? 15. Do you see how that works?
Yep.
That's why I have 15, because I was sitting there doing the math in my head. And I said the answer out. But do we understand that?
Yep.
Okay, so do you see how you could do that?
Yep.
But see how the calculator does it for you. I mean, you can go back to old school and do that. Multiply straight across. Okay? Now, we're back to our 1-step equation, not even 2-step. This is 6th grade. And I divide both sides by 15.
You get 4.
And I get 4. So, now that you have that in your cute box, which letter
A.
is 4?
A.
Okay, underneath your seat in the basket of the chair, there's a plastic thing. That's plastic. You're going to use this maze on 1, 2, 3, and 4 only. It's in your slideshow, but I didn't think you'd want to have to flip back and forth. Okay, that drives some of y'all nuts, so that's the reason I did that. Okay, so put your finger on A, because that's what you said my letter was, and follow the line till you get to a number.
I got 4.
And you got 4. Take your code paper. On question 1, you got A. And then your digit you got was 4. So this is your little paper to keep it organized. Okay. After you finish, you're going to hit the Google form up here. And it's going to say, what's your code on level 1? And you're going to type it in. If you have it right, it'll let you go to the next block. So you'll know if you have it right or wrong. Okay? Do we see that? Okay? So if you just want to work today and then worry about the code Google form tomorrow, that's totally fine. Because remember, this is not homework. It'll be turned in when you walk out of class tomorrow. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. I'm going to hand you your exemplar. You're going to do your exemplar. You're going to put your name and your seat number on this. This is what you do first. You will turn it over on your desk when you finish. Keep your cute little eyeballs on your own paper. It's a really easy one today. Then you will glue your notes into page 11. Do not glue your exemplar. I will pick it up. Yes, I've had some children glue their exemplars too. Okay? Once you finish gluing in your notes on page 11, you will then work on your escape room the rest of the period. Okay? Go for it.